Imagine a world where wars aren't fought with traditional bombs or bullets, but with weapons so fast, so precise, that even the most advanced defenses become obsolete. Picture a situation where the first strike has already been executed before the enemy can even register the threat. This isn't a futuristic fantasy, it's a reality unfolding right now. Today, we stand at the precipice of a military revolution driven by two groundbreaking technologies, hypersonic missiles and high-energy laser weaponry. In this narrative, we'll delve deep into the evolution of these weapons, the global strategic implications they carry, and how the United States and China have emerged as the two superpowers at the forefront of this race. For decades, the calculus of military strategy hinged upon time, detection, reaction, deployment, and counterattack. Conventional defense systems were built on the premise that enemy weapons followed predictable trajectories and that there was sufficient time to intercept incoming threats. However, with the advent of hypersonic missiles and lasers, the very foundations of these strategies are being challenged. Imagine a missile speeding toward its target at over 5 times the speed of sound, so fast that reaction times dwindle to mere milliseconds. In a scenario like this, even the most exquisite sensor arrays and sophisticated interceptors might struggle to keep pace. This emerging paradigm forces us to rethink our ideas of security and deterrence. No longer can we rely solely on traditional missile defense systems or static fortifications when facing an opponent who wields technology that can strike decisively, almost instantaneously. It's a race against time, physics, and human ingenuity. Hypersonic missiles are one of the most transformative developments in modern military technology. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, which follow a predictable, arcing trajectory, hypersonic weapons travel at speeds exceeding Mach 5, which is roughly over 3,800 miles per hour. At these breathtaking speeds, a missile can cover vast distances in a matter of minutes. Imagine the shockwave that would ripple across military command centers when sensors confirm an object hurtling toward a target faster than defensive systems can prepare a response. Yet speed is only part of the story. One of the defining characteristics of hypersonic missiles is their maneuverability. Traditional missiles are locked into predictable flight paths, making it possible to calculate intercept trajectories. Hypersonic missiles, however, are designed for agility. Mid-flight adjustments allow them to evade detection and bypass even the most advanced missile defense. This unpredictability means that defenses, built on decades of studying predictable ballistic patterns, simply aren't up to the task. Countries like China have aggressively developed hypersonic capability. Consider the DF-17 hypersonic glide vehicle, a missile that, once launched, detaches from its booster and glides at extreme speeds toward its target with a trajectory that can be altered mid-flight. The element of unpredictability that the DF-17 brings to the battlefield poses a unique challenge. Even if an adversary manages to detect its launch, recalculating and redeploying interceptors on the fly becomes almost impossible. The United States is not standing still in this contest of technological might. With programs such as the AGM-18-3 Air-Launched Rapid Response Weapon ARW and the Army's Dark Eagle, American defense researchers are making significant strides in hypersonic. These systems aim to provide the United States with a credible counterbalance to the hypersonic advancements made by its potential adversaries. The race is not merely about developing faster weapons, it's about redefining strategic doctrines where the ability to strike first and with dazzling speed could determine the outcome of conflicts that unfold in seconds. High-energy lasers, weapons at the speed of light. While hypersonic missiles deliver a devastating punch, the realm of high-energy lasers brings a different kind of transformation, one that turns the principles of offense and defense on their head. Picture a weapon that fires beams of concentrated energy, traveling at the speed of light. In a world where every second counts and traditional munitions are too slow to meet the pace of high-speed conflicts, lasers promise near instantaneous engagement. High-energy lasers operate by focusing immense power onto a small area, rapidly heating and vaporizing material on the target. Unlike missiles, which involve complex propulsion and aerodynamic challenges, lasers do not rely on projectiles. They have the advantage of virtually unlimited ammunition as long as there is a power source. This means that once deployed, a laser system can engage multiple targets without the logistical burdens associated with conventional munitions, which must be replenished and are costly to manufacture and replace. The strategic implications are traditional interceptors, capable of shooting down an incoming missile at tremendous cost per shot, pale in comparison to a weapon that charges repeatedly without significant replenishment. Imagine a scenario in which a single laser system is tasked with defending vast areas against drone swarms, small boats, or even incoming missiles. The ability to engage threats repeatedly without pause could redefine defensive military infrastructure. The United States has been a pioneer in the development of laser weapon systems. The high-energy laser weapon system (ELA) represent early steps in integrating lasers into active defense networks. These systems, when mounted on naval vessels or ground platforms, have the potential to intercept diverse threats in real-time experiments. In an era where the modern battlefield is characterized by rapid, fluid movements and an ever-increasing reliance on unmanned systems, the capacity to deliver sustained, rapid-fire protection could prove to be a critical difference. China is also making significant investments in directed energy weapons. Reports suggest that China has developed ground-based laser systems capable of targeting objects in space, such as satellites, which raises the stakes in the contest, not only for conventional military engagements, but also for the increasingly important domain of space. In this context, lasers become more than just defensive tools. They are also potent offensive weapons, capable of disabling critical assets with precision. The collision of technologies, hypersonics versus lasers. The interplay between hypersonic missiles and laser weapons sets the stage for a multifaceted battle that transcends traditional definitions of combat. We are witnessing the dawn of a conflict landscape where technology itself is the primary battleground and decisions are made within milliseconds. In this high-stakes arena, offensive and defensive capabilities become intertwined in an intricate dance of strategy and counter-strategy. On one side, hypersonic missiles represent the ultimate offensive tool, a means to deliver a decisive, unstoppable strike before an adversary can react. On the other, laser systems provide an almost mythical defense capable of countering multiple threats rapidly. Yet, the truth is more complex than a simple offensive versus defensive dichotomy. The rapid evolution of these systems is creating scenarios in which the balance of threat is continuously in. For example, consider a scenario where a nation armed with hypersonic missiles launches a surprise strike against an adversary. If the defending side has a high-energy laser system integrated into its layered defense strategy, then the outcome might not be as one-sided as it appears at. Conversely, if the offensive side has managed to develop countermeasures that can fool or overwhelm the laser system, even the best defense might prove futile. In this intricate technological chess match, victory will likely go to the nation that combines rapid reaction, predictive algorithms, global implications, and the new arms race. As the United States and China accelerate their research and deployments of hypersonic and laser technologies, the rest of the world is left at a crossroads. The implications of this new arms race extend far beyond bilateral rivalries. Nations such as Russia, India, North Korea, and even Iran are beginning to experiment with similar technologies, testing the boundaries of strategic. The rise of hypersonic missiles and laser weapons is not just a matter of national pride or military supremacy. It has the potential to destabilize entire regions. In traditional warfare, the time delay between detection and engagement often allows for diplomatic channels to be activated, opportunities for de-escalation, or even miscommunication to be resolved before conflict spirals out of control. When weapons strike within seconds, however, the margin for error becomes dangerously thin. A single miscalculation or technical error could trigger a cascade of unintended consequences, leading to an escalation that might be beyond anyone's control. For instance, a hypersonic first strike initiated under mistaken assumptions could accelerate a chain reaction, prompting a rapid retaliatory deployment of defenses and counterattacks. Similarly, the deployment of laser weapons designed to disable satellites or neutralize missile threats could inadvertently lead to catastrophic failures in global communication. The sheer speed at which these events might unfold means that strategic deterrence and conventional diplomatic safeguards are being tested like never before. This technological revolution raises pressing questions about the future. Traditionally, the doctrine of mutually assured destruction relied on the premise that both sides possessed enough damage potential to prevent either from launching an attack. But when the window for response is measured in milliseconds, and when a hypersonic missile or an almost instantaneous laser strike holds the potential to decide the outcome of a conflict, how does that doctrine hold up under new reality? Could the advent of these weapons actually prevent war by ensuring that any aggressive move is met with an equally devastating automated response? Or will it encourage preemptive strikes and an intensification of the arms race, where nations invest more in technological countermeasures than in diplomatic? The answers aren't immediately clear, but one thing is certain: the stakes are higher, the margins for error are thinner, and the global pressure for maintaining strategic stability has never been greater. The human element in a high-tech battlefield. It might seem that technology is the sole protagonist in this unfolding drama, but the human element remains critically behind every missile launch and laser beam are teams of engineers, military strategists, and policymakers who must translate complex scientific principles into tangible, reliable systems capable of withstanding the rigors of actual combat. Human intuition, decision-making, and ethical considerations will continue to play significant roles, even in a battlefield driven by millisecond reaction times. Military doctrines, training programs, and command structures will need to adapt to the realities of rapid automated warfare. Commanders might soon rely on artificial intelligence and advanced predictive algorithms to analyze threat patterns and recommend rapid responses. At the same time, the development of automated defense systems raises important questions about accountability and control. In a scenario where a misinterpreted signal leads to an unintended attack, who bears responsibility: the machine, the operator, or the decision-making chain of command? Advances in artificial intelligence offer both promise and peril. On one hand, AI-driven systems can process vast amounts of data in real time, providing decision support that can prevent mistakes. On the other hand, the possibility of an AI system making a split-second decision on lethal force without human oversight is daunting, and it demands rigorous ethical frameworks. The future battlefield will not be a realm devoid of human judgment. Rather, it will be a complex interplay of human insight and machine precision. Looking ahead, the future of global security. As we peer into the horizon of military technology, what we see is both awe-inspiring and cautionary. The rapid evolution of hypersonic and laser weapons marks a turning point in the annals of warfare. Nations at the forefront of these developments will not only command military might, but will also wield significant influence over global political dynamics. In an era where strategic advantage is derived from the ability to strike first, both the United States and China have embarked on parallel journeys to reshape the figure of conflict. Yet, technological superiority comes with enormous risk. The deployment of weapons that can decide outcomes in the blink of an eye must be accompanied by robust international dialogue, treaties, and checks on escalation. In the coming years, leaders and policymakers will need to work together to establish norms, if not outright prohibitions, against reckless use and inadvertent escalation. Failure to do so might result in a landscape where miscalculations have irreversible global consequences. Some experts propose transparency measures and confidence-building initiatives, much like those established during previous arms races. There is talk of international summits solely dedicated to exchanging technological breakthroughs, establishing shared protocols for emergency situations, and even devising mutually agreed-upon cooling-off periods following a sudden deployment of these high-speed weapons. While these ideas face formidable political challenges, they are essential dialogues to have in a world that is hurtling toward balancing progress and peril. The narrative of hypersonic missiles and laser weapons is a testament to human ingenuity, a showcase of our relentless pursuit of. In laboratories around the world, physicists, engineers, and strategists are pushing the boundaries of what is. They are developing superior materials, refining guidance systems, and integrating sensors that allow machines to see and respond in ways that were once the stuff of science fiction. However, every technological leap carries inherent risks. The more advanced our systems become, the more potential vulnerabilities emerge. Cybersecurity, for example, is an ever-present concern. In a future where a hypersonic missile or a laser strike is controlled by digital systems, the threat of hacking or cyber interference looms large. An adversary who manages to infiltrate or manipulate these systems might trigger catastrophic failures. The convergence of physical and cyber warfare will force nations to invest not only in hardware, but also in robust, foolproof digital security measures. Moreover, the environmental and economic costs of developing and deploying these advanced technologies cannot be underestimated. Enormous sums are earmarked for research and defense budgets, resources that some argue could be directed toward pressing humanitarian or environmental. Balancing the imperative to maintain national security with the need to foster global stability and address long-term challenges will be one of the greatest political dilemmas of. Today, we are witnessing a dramatic chapter in the evolution of warfare. Hypersonic missiles, with their near-instantaneous strikes and elusive flight paths, are redefining what it means to launch an attack. High-energy lasers, with their promise of nearly unlimited, rapid response defense, offer a counterbalance that may protect our vital assets in ways we once thought impossible. Together, these technologies force us to reconsider not only the nature of military engagement, but also the very principles of deterrence, accountability, and human oversight in conflict. The global stage is set for a new kind of arms race, one that is fought at the speed of light and measured in microseconds. As the United States and China lead this technological charge, the world watches with a mixture of awe, trepidation. Will these weapons foster a new era of instability and escalation, or can they serve as the deterrents that maintain peace in an ever-volatile world? History has shown that technological revolutions often change societies in unexpected. Much will depend on how leaders, policymakers, and citizens alike adapt to these changes. In this brave new world, where a fraction of a second can determine destiny, the challenge is not merely to build better weapons. It is to build better systems of governance, to forge new international norms, and to ensure that technology serves as a tool for protection rather than destruction. The revolution in warfare is not just about speed and precision, it's about responsibility, foresight, and above all, the preservation of humanity in the face of rapid transformation. As viewers, as global citizens, we are invited to contemplate this future critically. We must ask ourselves what kind of world we want to live in. A world where the roar of a jet is replaced by the silent flash of a hypersonic missile, and where the defensive shield is not a wall of iron but a beam of pure energy. The choices we make today in research, policy, and international cooperation will determine whether we harness these innovations for a safer, more secure tomorrow, or if they become the harbingers of an unpredictable